I will keep you updated on how they get on today. Of course, Don, grandson of Sir Malcolm Campbell and nephew of Donald Campbell. Time for the papers. Joining us this morning, political and digital strategist Jag Singh. Jag, good morning. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me in.
We're going to get the aftermath of the rioting in a moment. But first, the other story, of course, has been the state of the economy. And you've gone for a business story as your first choice.
I thought we'd focus on this. I mean, I think it's emblematic of the lack of any sort of aviation policy guidance from the government. And, we've heard so much from the Chancellor saying that he was going to focus on the economy and focus on bringing business back to Britain. But we're finding out that it's actually sort of damaging the economy in general. The government's sort of focusing on the high-speed rail network, or putting in loads of resources into that, and it's seen as a vanity project. It's not really, the kind of thing that will. We're going to be pouring tens of billions of pounds into something that's only going to come out in the next 15 and 20 years, and it's going to reduce time travel by about 15 minutes.
But it's seen as green compared to aviation.
It's seen as green, but there's something to be said about the fact that it's actually costing us jobs. It's actually costing Britain a lot. And you're able to fly to China you're able to fly to about 5 different cities from Helsinki directly, but only 3 from anywhere in Britain.
But is our airspace actually big enough to put up with more sort of hubs and so on? That's the
I'm sure it is. I mean, it's got to be. We've got to find a way around it. There doesn't seem to be any other sort of alternative.
Yeah.
You can't expect Chinese businessmen to sort of fly into Birmingham and then take a train down to London. It's just not going to work. It's not feasible.
And of course, the question how to get our economy moving again, and elsewhere, questions about the 50% tax rate as well.
Absolutely.
Anyway, the other issue, of course, is trying to analyse what's gone on in terms of the rioting, the looting and so on, and talk of broken Britain, or, as the Independence reflected, the big society actually working.
It seems like it, yes. Amidst all this doom and gloom, and I love this phrase they use, the verbal arms race between pundits to explain what, in the end, may be unexplainable. There are concerns about neglect by authorities. There are concerns that these disturbances could sort of return as soon as the police numbers sort of fall back. But we're seeing that there's this incredible, tremendous sort of outpouring of hope. The story of Tariq Jahan, who lost his son. I think we have him to thank for keeping the calm and sort of
in Birmingham,
in Birmingham, and not letting the situation sort of escalate into a full-blown race riot.
And we've got this peace march later on in the city. Of course,
we do.
This afternoon.
Let's just hope it stays peaceful. And then there's another article about the Hackney granny who sort of told off a gang of yobs and
yeah, we saw in a full
looters.
flow here on Sky News as well. But it's still, in terms of the politicians, as we've got here on the front of the Times, they're wanting to be seen to be taking action, blaming gang culture, wanting to be tough, zero tolerance, all these phrases coming
Well, here's the thing. Law-abiding citizens like you and me, we already operate under the assumption that there is zero tolerance for crime. It's sort of emblematic of the wider problem, which is, I thought we brought the Tories in to sort of fix broken Britain. I thought they were going to sort of, I thought David Cameron was going to come in and roll his sleeves up and say, right, we're going to fix this. A year later, he's telling us there's zero tolerance for gang crime. Come on. Surely there's something more he can do about it.
So is a lot of this being skewed by the fact that, they're fairly bruised by the fact they were all on holiday in Tuscany or wherever they were when this all happened last week, and they've had to come and play catch-up to a degree in the political sense?
I'd say so, and I think the nice thing is, I think in some of the polls that have come out over the last week, the public are seeing right through them. We trust the police more than we do these politicians, and I think that's fantastic.
Mind you, I mean, he might have a point when you go to the Express, then Sunday Express, and we find out that 600 of those who were on the streets rioting were actually on parole from jail sentences.
Exactly. I mean, it's astounding. You'd think that, after that sort of furore we had with Ken Clarke talking about, reducing rapist sentences, we'd have learned something, but apparently we haven't. And, I just don't understand how we can get to this situation where, there's this incredible sort of outpouring of anger toward the government, and all they seem to do is just go on holidays and come back and say, right, we'll focus on phone hacking, and then we might sort of have a couple of inquiries into the causes of these riots.
Yeah, not a good time perhaps for Parliament to be in recess, because there's lots of debate to be had, lots of questioning.
There are a couple of people commenting on that specific point of the rioters being on parole, that the rout on the streets, that they simply don't fear prison. that there is nothing, it's not a deterrent, and they don't mind going into prison.
Absolutely. I mean, why would you? If you've heard that, you know, a violent rapist can get out of jail after, you know, just spending months in jail. Surely a looter...
No deterrent effect.
There's absolutely no deterrent.
And finally, let's just reflect on other matters. When, of course, we talk about lots of people trying to get into university. It's pretty tough at the moment, but you can get now a Bachelor of Arts, a BA, in Bollywood.
Well, it's not exactly true. I love the headline. It's fantastic to express that at its best. You know, the sub-editors did a really good job there. But it's actually more about the Trinity board and you know, the board that sort of conducts some of these musical examinations.
This is Trinity College.
At Trinity College. And it's all about keeping it fresh. And it's you know, after the whole Shilpa Shetty sort of winning Celebrity Big Brother, you know, Indian sort of music is global these days. It's reflective of the global trend, and I think it's great because it's bringing, you know, music to it's allowing British musicians access to a broader scope.
And it'll take your mind off the cricket as well.
Definitely.
Thank you very much indeed on that note, but thanks very much indeed. We'll see you again soon, Jag. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me in.